Okay.
All right. We are live. I am recording. We ready to get this thing jumped off with Miss Kendra Crump, straight out of the ATL. And we're going to talk to her a little bit today about what she does. And um, she is an up and coming comedian, currently attending Clark Atlanta University, obtaining her bachelor's in mass communications with a concentration in radio, TV, and film. And she plans to have her own radio TV show one day. So we're going to jump right into it. Miss Crump, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, yes. And before I go ahead and say that, can I use profanity on here, or we keeping it all the way TVG? Like, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, good. Because I be going on these Christian programs, and I'm like, guys, come on now. Jesus had a mouthful of words for people back in the day. But anyway, neither here nor there. But yes, I am from Atlanta. I've been here since I was 0. Okay, so you know how you've been in a place for so long, you just get a little bored and you want to travel out and go elsewhere.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
I'm trying to travel out to Rapper the Game's house. Look, I know he watches this program. Okay, I sent him a DM on April 19th at 1:38 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. Okay, 2020. You need to respond back, JC. On back to the story. But yeah, I've really been doing comedy like my entire life. It just came naturally. I never tried to be funny. It just was always here. And I'm like, hey, I might as well pursue a career in it, I guess.
Got you. So as far as that career, and well, let me tell you a little bit about this show. The name
Okay.
is Millionaire by Morning. And the reason it's named that is because I have this idea that anybody that wants to, anybody that has any type of talent, which God gives us all talent, can
Hmm.
wake up one day and have $1 million in their pocket, right?
That's true.
Because
That's true.
the people that have millions of dollars, they worked and worked and worked and worked until one day somebody wrote them a nice fat check.
That's it.
So that's it.
That's
You
real.
wake up one day, you was broke one day, and then you rich the next.
That's it. Listen, I know you a whole millionaire over there. You got your black card hidden somewhere. I know you do.
Like, yeah, and Kroger giving me a discount on it every time I swipe it.
Good, good. Same here. Same here. You know
So
what? One
yeah,
day it's gonna happen for both of us.
that's right. That's right. So on your journey, tell me a little bit about your journey and where you're starting and what you're doing now to get to the ultimate goal. Like
Okay, so
ground clubs
one
or
oh no. I never so here's the thing. I never performed like at a club or anything. More so like at a house party, like a kickback or something like
gotcha.
that. Whenever people invite me, because I never was really good. Like when it came with stand up, this is something I realized what stand up is. Stand up, it could be like you performing, like going on a podcast and giving your talents and making people laugh. It doesn't have to be welcome to the stage. We have this
Yeah.
person. Now you got to think of like a delivery type thing. I'm just more so good with just talking. And the thing about it is, in fact, like I remember my mother would always say, she's like, Kendra, you need to think before you speak. And I'm glad I never did that, because like I just say whatever comes off to the top of my head and people laugh. And I'm like, okay, good. So that's one thing I realized is, even though my mother doesn't care about my career choice when it comes with comedy, I had to realize, I'm like, okay, do I want to stay in this Section 8 neighborhood for the rest of my life? Or do I want to go forth with my dreams and go somewhere with a white picket fence, a long ass driveway? I'm talking about you can park 15 cars in the driveway, not two and a half. You know how you go to some people's neighborhoods, you got cars parked on both sides of the street. I don't want that. Okay, because if people will hit your car and keep it moving, I want to have like a big ass
Yeah.
backyard. I don't want to pay no $300,000 for no house, and I put my hand outside the window and I can high five my neighbors. The hell is that? So I don't have time for that. Okay, that's why, in order for me to get to where I'm trying to get to, I have to apply pressure to my dreams. Okay. And I always
I,
tell people, you need to have a backup plan. And the backup plan doesn't necessarily have to deter you from plan A. But I mean, hell, who wants to have a 50-year-old rapper on the side of the gas station still trying to sell his mixtape out? Nobody wants a 50-year-old rapper on come on now. Or you got people out there who want to strip. Like you can't be no 65-year-old stripper. I actually looked up this documentary. This woman, like she's in her 60s. I cannot find it. I think they took it down off the internet. But this woman was in her 60s at the Claremont Lounge here in Atlanta, still stripping. I'm like, tell Gray to hang that pole up. That what is this? But that goes to show you that's a person who did not go full throttle to try to have something else. She didn't have any backup plans. And I told myself back in 2019, I had a conversation with God and I said, God, this is early 2019. I said, God, I need for you to promote me out of this job. Now, guys, mind you, I work at the airport, Hartsfield Jackson to be Atlanta to be exact. I need y'all to come support me like you support your favorite rapper who don't respond back to your DM. Okay. So yes, I am at Concourse B as in Bravo 09 at a kiosk Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, late morning to early evening. Leave me a tip. Okay. Not talking about your penis, guys. Okay. Cause you gotta be specific. With a lot of y'all men, if I say, hey, I'm coming over, y'all think, oh, she coming over to get these cheeks slapped. No, I'm not coming over to get my cheeks slapped. I'm just coming over. I'm on one side of the room. You on the next. I'll be saying, why you so far away? Because I want to. Okay. How come you haven't paid your cable bill? It's been off for 6 months because you don't want to. All right. Now back to the story. So with all that being said, it's like I told God back in 2019, and I said to him, I said, God, promote me out of this airport so I could go into my dreams. And now I just have to be patient and wait on the Lord. I can't, it's on his time and not on my timing. And so this job, like this last job this is the last job. It's pretty cool. It's not that bad. I get to interact with random people. I can see white people with their dogs and carriages, running up and down the concourse. I get to see white children on the ground playing, stop, drop, and roll like we in a fire drill or something like that. And speaking of that, I never understood in elementary, why would y'all make us get on that nasty ass ground for these tornado drills or whatever else it may be? That the janitors in detail clean and mop that floor, bleach it out. They don't give a damn about us. Come on, they are overworking and underpaying these janitors now. You think that they're gonna go the extra mile? It's probably why the kids have ringworms. Not because it's quote unquote dirty at your house, because they got us on the ground doing these little drills. Some bull crap. Same thing like
And
work
the
at
lice.
yes. I just honestly, Rashad, is stupid. Like it's so many things as you become older that you realize it's just honestly just dumb. Like for example, why as an adult do even if you work 5 days a week, why are we not working 30 hours a week? Why do we have to work 8 to 14 hours or 20 hours a week? Why not just 6 hours a day? Come on
Yeah,
now.
it could definitely be changed.
Here's my thing. Let's say you make 3,000 a week, and that's after 50 hours of you working. Can't you still make that 3,000 after 30 hours? Because by the time you come home, you're gonna be too tired to cook something for yourself. You gotta take out, okay? Then you're not gonna want to be intimate with your significant other. Okay, they're gonna go to their blow up doll. Okay. Then the kids, you don't want to help the kids with their homework. They're gonna just be on hooked on phonics. Okay. Do you want the kids riding on the short bus? That's why they need to go ahead and delete those hours. Like I just work 3 days a week. It's still 8 hours, but still at the same time, that's too much. It's just too much. And you know what? Y'all need to vote for me for president of something. Okay. Because I'm about to make a change around here. So I'd say about that.
I agree. I agree. I agree all the way. They
Like
could,
let me ask you something. Have you ever had a job that had you working over 8 hours a day? Any jobs that you've ever had?
yes. I've done, uh, because I like my time to myself. I've
Hmm.
just when I had to work, I either do third shifts overnight,
Hmm.
I do Friday, Saturday, Sunday shifts, work 12 hours a day, and they pay you for 30, I mean, they pay you for 40, you only work 36. Then
Hmm.
I also had a job before that I worked every 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, 16 hours, 12 to 16 hours a day.
So wait. 6 days a week?
Yeah. And I was a temp honorary employee. No days off, no benefits, nothing.
So would you say that that was the worst job that you've ever had, or did you have jobs that were worse than that?
Best money I ever made. Worst job I ever had. Worst
Mm.
job I ever had. But it was easy. But I'm not like I'm a creative, right?
Mhm.
And I'm a, I can't be the person that just sit on his feet 12 hours a day. We literally just tore the sticker off the bottles. I literally just had to push a button in, a 16-hour time span. And that alone drove me crazy. I can't do it. Some people can, some people been out there 50, 60 years, but I couldn't do it. So that was horrible.
And I think those people that is what you call being complacent. Like I've come across where, with people like, and I always, when I talk to people in general, children, adults, whomever, I always say to them, I'm like, what's something that God put in your heart a long time ago and you're headed that way? What was your dream job? Like, I think out of the 100% of the people I poll, only 3% of people are actually in their career.
Oh yeah. Oh
And,
yeah.
I feel like that's just it's kind of sad because it's like the Reverend Bishop DJ from Hustle and Flow once said, everybody's got a dream. Okay. So with that being said, I just I figured out my dream a long time ago. I like literally I went through a series of unfortunate events trying to figure out what was it that I actually wanted to do in my life. First thing I said was is that I wanted to be a basketball player. Like I had hoop dreams. I grew up a tomboy. I played basketball, football, baseball, anything ending in the word ball except men's balls. All right, but yes, I had hoop dreams, and 70% of my growing up, I always had a basketball goal. Okay. But I wasn't applying pressure to try to be the best. Actually, in high school, I remember the only thing I wanted to be was a basketball player, being popular, and having a boyfriend for every day of the week. And I failed at all three, two and a half. Back to the story. So it wasn't until because I grew up playing street ball. There was no fundamental type basketball. I wasn't
Right.
practicing my dribbling. And on top of that, I was only playing in the warmer weather. I wasn't playing in, winter, fall, none of that. So then once I hit like my senior year of high school, I said, and I'm actually on a basketball team practice. I'm like, bro, it's too much running. Like, why every time this person misses a layup, we all got to run a mile? Make that person run a mile. Okay. Next thing I said was I wanted to be a chef, right? Until I realized that I hate math and I was failing math like damn near every year in school. Like, you know how you got those kids who are like in second grade reading on a sixth grade reading level? Well, I was in second grade reading on a pre-K level. Okay, I'm pretty sure my parents tried to get me to be hooked on phonics, but honey, I was hooked on stupid. Okay, I just could not grasp education. It was just hard for me. I just didn't understand. Right, my mother, I know for a fact, she was tired of showing up at the school for these PTA meetings in a new wig. Okay, like is that Shaka Khan or Miss Crump? We still don't know to this day. All right. So last thing I said that I wanted to be, and plus, with chef, I love cooking, but I cook the way I want to cook. All right, I'm not gonna be doing no measurements. It's whenever my ancestors say stop, child. That's when I stop, pouring all that salt in there. But guess what? It ain't gonna be salty. Let me tell you something. I went to Florida. And for the slow ones in the back, that's Florida. So I went to Florida last month. I was in South Florida, in Miami, and I decided to go to a restaurant. And I'm tasting food. I'm like, bro, why is this fried chicken and rice and beans so salty? I said it's a reason why they say the craziest people come from the Bronx and all of Florida. Number one, Florida is hot. That heat makes you crazy. Okay, number two, you are over saturating your food with salt and sugar. So your brain is not all the way there. Okay, hell, it's just crazy. I'm like, you guys are giving people high blood pressure around here. All right, back to the story. So last thing I said was I wanted to
And
be
they
a
swimming in salt water.
child. They got too much going on, and those drugs too. Those drugs.
Yeah.
Like you could just walk down the street and say, "Hey, where the white girl?" Nobody says cocaine no more. We say white girl. Where the white girl at? And you can go probably go get it from a teenager. I'm like, what you doing selling this? Actually supposed to be, whatever. Anyway, so the last thing I said that I wanted to be was a hairstylist. And it wasn't until I realized that you have to stand up on your feet all day and you can catch carpal tunnel. So what happens if you try to go home to masturbate? You can't. So I said, let me just try to find something that's easier, comes naturally, in comedy. But the thing about being a comedian is that like you can get canceled for anything. I got like 5 cancel jokes I could share with y'all. You know,
Hey, the council culture is crazy, but the realness, the only place that you can really keep it real is comedy. Like that's it.
you would think that, but in all honesty,
Well,
people are
yeah,
just, and I don't understand why people are so sensitive because there's a time like I'm a 90s baby, right? So the 70s, the 80s, 90s, 2000 babies, we were watching Futurama. I mean, I couldn't watch it because my mom's an evangelist and everything was blocked, canceled. This is a sin, whatever. We were watching Futurama. We're watching Family Guy. We're watching Boondocks, South Park. All
yeah,
of this type of stuff had a lot of stuff that now you can't say because you get canceled. And I'm like, bro, for what? For
yeah,
what?
yeah. It's gotten to the point that it's silly, you know. Especially, I don't know. I look at some of the old comedians and Dave Chappelle. Let's take Dave Chappelle for instance.
Mm-hmm.
And he, they still try to cancel him, but he has so much money he don't give a damn, you know. But he still says what's on his mind. And normally, Chris Rock is another one that, but they've had to scale it back as well. But I think they get somewhat of a pass because they from the old school, you know. But yeah, the new comedians and influencers, it's over with. As soon as they let something slip out their mouth, it's kind of crazy right now.
And it's like you have to apologize or else you'll be you're gonna lose endorsements. And it's
Yeah.
like y'all just find something better to do with your life because all that energy that you're putting into trying to cancel somebody, you can put that same energy to work on your marriage that you know for a fact probably done died 5 years ago. You can go ahead and fix that hairline that's going back farther than the Houston Jackson family. Okay, you can try to figure out why is your pubic hair growing faster than your edges, ladies. Okay, I just never understood that. You can figure out why your credit scores are 200, but you got designer clothing in your closet and you ain't been to the doctor in years. You're just dripping in diseases and design. I'm just trying to,
Oh no.
just saying.
Oh, not dripping.
They dripping in it, honey.
They, they sure do need to find something else to do or be doing.
Just saying, like it's
So
it's
what do
it's
you
ridiculous.
you're from Atlanta and
Uh-huh.
so speaking on council culture and whatnot, what do you think about T.I. and Tiny being counseled, their show being counseled for um people just kind of saying things, nothing that's really been proven in court, basically, is what I'm saying. How do you feel about that?
Well, first off, I just found so okay. One thing I tried. This is something I realized when it comes with celebrities. Period. I think oftentimes, so, and I had somebody because I do interviews as well, and I was interviewing somebody who is like a manager, somebody who's out there in the industry, and she was telling me that if you're not relevant, like if you don't do no publicity stunt, you're gonna pretty much like they don't want to talk about you no more. Like you're gonna be pretty much on a new episode of Lies in Hip Hop, not Love in Hip Hop, Lies in Hip Hop, right? And
Right.
so I think with that whole situation, first off, they're trying. They hired Lisa Bloom, which I believe she represented Black China and some other people, but she had failed with everybody because Lisa Bloom is just a joke, honey. I can represent people better in court than Lisa Bloom can, and I'm pretty sure I can win something, honey. But as far as with Ti, Tiny, for I don't, and this is also something I just don't understand as well. Whatever happened, just keeping whatever you guys have going on to y'all self. I don't recall the time nor the day, but I just have been hearing for years that they swing both. You know, they out there swinging. So I'm trying to figure out like why do y'all want people to know that about you? Now, mind you, there's some things you can keep to yourself. Like, for example, I'm an open book. Okay. I don't mind talking about certain things. I can make a joke about it. But my thing is this when you one thing I know for a fact, and a lot of women don't want to agree with this, or men, period. But women don't share great D. They don't. Okay. So if you got your old lady say, hey, babe, let's have a threesome, you need to slap that bitch down. Okay. Because there ain't no reason. Like, come on now. That power that's between your legs, that that third leg that you got, or maybe a shrimp. Some of y'all got shrimps. I'm sorry to hear that. To any women out there or men, whatever way that you swing, whatever gets you an orgasm at night. If you ever have come across somebody who has a small penis and they say what it tastes like, tell them it tastes like a pacifier. Okay. Back to the story. So we're women don't share great D. And number two, if you really love somebody, you're not going to be comfortable with them having sex in front of you with somebody else. You know, I think honestly, their marriage has been a joke. In all
Hmm.
honesty, um, a real marriage, and it's a lot of couples out there that do that. A real marriage, a real relationship, you ain't gonna be inviting other people inside the bedroom. I think if you want to have threesomes, orgies, I think the best thing to do is to do that with people that are everybody single, everybody, because that's how feelings get caught up. What what if the man ends up pounding the girl a lot better than he pounds you? Now it's gonna be an issue. Why would you like that? Huh? Why, it's just gonna be, you're gonna be hearing her mouth forever. Nobody wants to hear that. So as far as with them being canceled, because I guess if I'm not mistaken, weren't they setting people up and sexually harassing people?
So that's the rumor. You know what I mean? Like at this point, it's a rumor. So my whole thing is, how do you get counseled behind a rumor? You know,
Um, but again, I honestly think that there is some truth to rumors though. Not all the time, but sometimes there
but
is
when
some.
it comes to your paycheck, the executive that's writing the check, do they say, okay, there's some truth to rumor, we're going to counsel you? You know what I mean?
No,
We need to see it
that
on paper or
you
in
shouldn't
court.
do that. You should not do that. You should not do that. But if there is a history of stuff that's been going on that just hasn't been released yet, and again, I think maybe what they can do is sue. They should get a right attorney and sue whoever the company is for them doing that. Like they have to be, innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know. That was the old law. But, now you just get counseled for everything. So
Hmm.
I was watching one of your videos, right?
Hmm.
And it says that you had an alter ego.
Her name is Dynasty, hence the name is Idolized Dynasty. Dynasty was gonna be my stripper name as well, right? I was gonna be a stripper until I realized I got two left feet. I would have been the first stripper in history bringing home pocket change. You would have thought I was working for a nonprofit organization.
Well, damn. That's, I don't know if you'll be the first. I'd have been I'd have been to quite a few. I don't know if you've been the first.
Have you ever had a really bad like strip club experience where you said I'm never gonna come either here or never ask that dancer to come to me?
Here's the thing. I don't know why, but I don't know. I used to travel a lot, so I've been to a lot of clubs, and those are the bold ones. Those are the ones that would come sit next to you, sit in your laps. The bony ones that you know you can feel they bone digging through your leg. Those are the big heavy ones. Those are the ones that's gonna come asking you to buy them a drink. So they are the very aggressive ones. So I guess at the end of the day, if they get enough people to buy them drinks, or they buy enough drinks, they go home with some money. But yeah, there's plenty I've been to. Like, I'm never going back there. Don't even invite me. My homeboys, I have to tell them, nah, don't even invite me for those types. So,
Did you write a bad review on Google about them?
I should have thought about that.
It's never too late.
I should have thought about that. They don't close down, they just change names. So they still
Uh,
out there. That same building is still out there.
well, how about this? How
Man,
about I'll boycott with you. How about after Zoom call is over, you go and you go and Google and you talk about it.
talk about it on Google.
Hmm.
The reviews.
And report it to the Better Business Bureau as well.
I might have to do that. But hey, it's going to be some people that enjoy it. That may just be my taste. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out here that like those type of, Marge Simpson looking women.
I mean, well, what
Not
is
me.
your idea? What is your ideal woman? Like not like you don't have to list everything, but what's something that catches your eye typically?
Ah, man, just thickness. And I'm not gonna say. I think when we start out as boys, I believe that
Mhm.
we are breast men and probably more facial. Then you get a little older, you start getting in your teenage years, your younger adult age. It's all about that ass. But then you get a little older. Once you get a little older, you're looking at the legs. The legs is what matter. The proportion. Legs leading up to the ass and the thighs, the calves, and all of that. I think that's how I go from boy to teenage to
Mhm.
adulthood.
Well said. So anybody out there, if you just want hoes in different area codes, you got at least one woman in each state that you can holler at. Okay, and all gonna be after you. How about that?
One in each state?
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But you know what's so crazy? It's like I was reading the Bible, right? And it said that King Solomon had like 700 concubines. And I said, ain't no way in hell. That's too many women to entertain. You can't remember everybody's name. You got to remember birthdays. You got to, like, have you ever had multiple girlfriends at one time and they didn't probably know about each other?
It's too much. It's too much.
Mhm.
You can't. You can't. It's too much. It's a full-time job,
And they're expensive too.
and they're expensive. And you got to hear it from this way, and you got to hear it from that way. It's just too much.
So you're not about that poly relationship lifestyle.
I just got married to cut down.
Hey, high five,
Yeah,
congratulations.
sure did. I cut down on all of that. I was a wild boy. I used to rap. I used to be a rapper, so I traveled.
Uh-oh, I got a rap for you. I'm gonna spit a hot 16 for you real quick. You ready?
Yeah, let me hear it.
All right. Kendra in all black. I stay strapped. What you know about that Krenak mixtape coming out soon?
That ain't 16. So I'm gonna ask you. Um, so what's an experience that you've had, Kendra, that you would never do again, but it's an experience that you learned from? And you glad?
Ecstasy.
Really?
Doing ecstasy. Yes, doing ecstasy.
Oh, I didn't expect that. I,
I know, I know. This is a true story, guys. Let me tell you something, right? It's a reason why the Dare Dog says don't do drugs, right? Okay. So I think they took weed off the list because we realized a long time ago weed came from the earth, which is a plant that God created in the beginning of times. Okay. But the thing is, a lot of people don't understand you can get addicted to weed, right? You don't start off addicted, but if you do it all the time, it does become an addiction.
true.
And shout out to the people who pay their weed man's bills. Okay. Back to the story. So it was going through, and this is just my experience, all right? And everybody's body is different. I got to the point where I was cool on weed. And mind you, I was never no big smoker. This was just an occasional type thing. I started when I was like 18, and I did it like August of like August like 27th. It was a Monday. It was an afternoon, and what I know, what if something that I could tell, I want to have children one day. So what I would tell my kids is, because I remember I was very paranoid. I was in the back seat of a car in this abandonment like building parking lot, and like cops were just rolling past, right? And I like said a prayer, and then my prayer didn't go to spam. The cops didn't come down here. Back to the story. So I remember it got to a point I was just doing it every now and again, maybe once a month or twice, I don't know, however long. And I would say I had injured my foot in 2018, like the beginning, well, towards the middle of the year 2018. And I was kind of on bed rest. And I kind of went through a depression, a slight depression. And I started Googling. I was like, hello, Google. How many different strains are there in weed? At the time, this was 2018. At the time, it was like 2,000 different strains, but I was not aware that there's a new strain being made like on a daily basis.
Right.
So my goal, I said, I'm gonna quit smoking weed because I literally had no, it wasn't fun anymore. It like there were times where it was fun, and I thought that this would just be my vice for the rest of my life. And I didn't understand where I came across adults who said, Kendra, I used to smoke all the time back in the day, but I just can't do it now. I didn't understand that. But then I started to feel it, right? So I said, I just Googled, I said, dear Google, how many different strains are there? And it said 2,000. And I told myself, well, I'm gonna smoke every single strain, because I will write down the different strains I've tried. And so I said, I'm gonna smoke all the strains out there, or I'm gonna smoke with a celebrity, and then I'm gonna call it quits, right? And then somewhere along the way, I was at Snoop Dogg's concert 2019 December. He had passed a blunt. And I was like, I took 6 hits before it got ripped out of my hands because everybody wanted to hit Snoop's weed. But then I still like felt a little like emptiness. I said, I feel like I'm missing something. And then my mind started racing to all these different drugs. I'm like, what if I try this? What if I try that? And so I ended up coming up like across ecstasy, but this is what I did not realize. Ecstasy is not like the same pills like that was created. The real X pill is actually over, and I researched. It's in South America. It's like made from a tree. That's the authentic X pill. The stuff over here is mixed with a bunch of stuff. So for all I know, I done probably tried 20 drugs in one pill. I probably done had some cocaine because I was horny as shit the next day. Okay, so so with all that being said, when I tried X, I said, okay. Somebody told me, I had one of my coworkers who she said she's experimented with a lot of different drugs. And I told her I was about to try X. She says, you need to be hydrated when you're about to try this drug. I said, okay. So I drunk 3 glasses of water, like 15 minutes kick in. I'm like, ain't nothing going on. But I felt my mouth watering, but I didn't know that meant it was one of the effects. Then I said, well, and I was by myself. Then I said, okay, let me go listen to some music. I listened to some music, and
You
I'm
was
like,
by
okay,
yourself
I
while
don't,
you was doing drugs, your first?
and yeah, I was in the
Ah,
house. I was in the house though. I was safe. I was safe. I didn't go nowhere. I made sure not to go nowhere. So I was and maybe it's a good thing as well, Rashad, that I didn't do with nobody else, because I probably could have had an orgy I didn't want to have. Okay. Oh, look, Kendra's high off eggs. Let's take her clothes off. So I'm listening to
yeah,
music, and then all of a
that's a
sudden it's
possibility.
like, yeah, that's why I'm like, let me do it by myself. I'm listening to music, and then all of a sudden I just kept having to. I felt myself having to spit because I had too much saliva in my mouth. Right. Then I kept using the restroom. And then all of a sudden, it's like I heard the 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 air wasn't on. I mean, the heat wasn't on because this was back in November. So the heat wasn't on, but I heard like the air whispering. Okay. Then my chest started hurting. And I'm like, I can't call 911 because I'm gonna be Big Bertha's bitch once they find out I'm taking a legal drug. All right. I'm too pretty to go to jail. But look, let me tell you something. If they say if you don't take this COVID vaccine or go to jail, I'm gonna be in jail. But I'm not gonna be in jail for something else like me taking ecstasy or something. So then that I started taking X. That was 2:30 that day. It was 8:30 and I was still high and my chest was still hurting. And so I said, okay, I need to become sober. So I heard God say to me, He's like, Kendra, go outside and go next door to your neighbors and go talk to them. It's like, what? He's like, go outside and go next door to your neighbors. I'm like, okay, well, God, I hear you loud and clear. Now, mind you, this was a Monday night and it was 40 degrees outside. And I went outside and I was outside for 15 minutes and I felt myself being zapped back into normal time. So the trick is if anybody's out there who wants to get off X very quickly, you need to take a cold shower, ice bath, or go in some cold air. And that cold air had like burned it all off. And I was so happy. And I went to bed at 11 o'clock that night. But I woke up the next day and I had like this erotic dream the next day. And I'm like, who are you people on me? So yes, ecstasy is the worst, in my opinion, is the worst drug. I will never do that again. Again, I don't know, like it was a blue pill, but that blue pill could have had everything in it. For all I know,
Yeah,
I could have had some hair on. Okay.
yeah,
I done did every type of drug, y'all. Don't be like me.
yeah, yeah. It could have been everything in it for the most part. Well, I'm gonna have to wrap it up, Kendra. So I appreciate you for stopping by.
Thank you.
Could you please let everyone that's viewing this know where to find you, all your social media channels and whatnot?
Well, first off, you can find me on somebody's corner. But other than that, I am definitely on Instagram, Idolize Dynasty, IDOLIZE YouTube is Kendra Crump, KYNDRA space people space because a lot of y'all ain't the highest grade of weed in the dispensary. Okay, CRU M as in Mary, P as in Paul. Okay, I would give y'all my Facebook information, but I don't care. We got one mutual friend in common. The decline, delete, all that, block, finito. And shout out to the Africans. You know, if you accept one friend request from an African, the whole village comes. Village, stay where you're at. Okay, so yes, that's where I'm at.
We're gonna be looking for you. We're gonna be looking for you out on all the channels, YouTube channels. I'm gonna let everybody know about
Mhm.
it. I'm gonna share this over and over and over again.
Thank you so much for having me.
No
Thank you for
problem.
not thinking I was a bot and deleting my message when I sent you a request. Y'all shout out to Rashad, man. Y'all keep on supporting this man. Tell a crackhead to tell a pigeon, everybody, so they can keep on spamming your account.
That's right. Cause
Because
you
sometimes
know
you don't
what?
know.
I'm a, I'm gonna hit you back. I guarantee I'm gonna call you back. I don't know who you might be. You might have $1 million in your pockets for me, but we're gonna see. We're gonna
But
definitely.
guess what? When my TV show comes out, you can definitely come to wherever city I'm gonna be performing in. You could be on the panel, a guest panel on Fridays. We're gonna be just doing like a random polling question, and you can be on the pro side or the con. I'm gonna fly you out to a nice hotel. You can stay for the weekend, but still bring some bed bug spray because these 5-star hotels be tripping, honey. Okay, they be tripping. Listen, just like the janitors in elementary schools, they are overworking and underpaying Esmeralda and Maria. Okay. They don't sometimes that's why you think you got bed bugs in these 5-star hotels because somebody was just not doing their job.
I think don't the Mar-a-Lago Trump Mar-a-Lago got bed bugs in it. Ain't nobody. Well, Maria and them probably working there too, but they not doing their job correctly either. So
They not.
okay, I'll sleep in the truck. My truck.
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you so much again.
Okay, no problem. I'll see you soon.
All right, you take care.
All right, peace.